Hello everyone. I just wanted to make a quick little extras video here about this Delta 2. Not really an extras, more so me just talking about it, because I wanted to talk about this fan a little bit, as now that it is confirmed that it is Decorator Mauve, just wanted to discuss this fan a little. And apologies about my spastic breathing, my nose is a bit stuffed up right now. So, yeah, this fan is Decorator Mauve, and as you guys know, I got this ceiling fan at a lighting room near me that was closing down. I didn't get it at like a Habitat or eBay or anything like that. So, it makes me wonder why they had a fan like this. Maybe it was because it was the floor model at one point in time, and they never really sold it when the Delta 2 came off the market, or they knew it was an extremely rare fan and they decided to keep it because it was a cool thing to have. Except the guy who sold it to me, I don't think he was aware of how rare the fan was, because I think he had only been owner of the place since I think the late 90s, which would have been a solid like 10 to 12 years after this fan was manufactured. Because the Decorator Mauve Delta 2s, and perhaps the other fans in Decorator Mauve, were introduced in 1986 and discontinued only a year later in 1987. And this fan does check out because it was manufactured May of 1986. So it falls within that very small window of time. And this fan does seem to be extremely, if not astronomically rare, as yes, you do have your Verde Delta 2s, your designer gray Delta 2s, and your Ferrari red Delta 2s, which, yes, are rare and incredibly desirable, but there's already a relatively large handful of fan collectors that seem to own Delta 2s or Lady Deltas or Panamas in those finishes. This one, however, Decorator Mauve, it really doesn't seem like too many other fan collectors have this finish for any fan, let alone just a Delta 2. When I looked up Decorator Mauve Casablanca fans, the only other video that I saw was Casablanca has a video of a Decorator Mauve Lady Delta. And that was a different model. It was a Lady Delta, while this is a Delta 2. So as far as I know, I'm the only fan collector who owns a Decorator Mauve Delta 2. And of course, there could be someone else out there, or even several other people out there who just haven't videoed it, or I've somehow missed their video entirely. I don't know how that would happen, but it can happen. You never know. But this thing does seem to be insanely rare, one of a kind, one in a million, as it really doesn't seem that there's too many other fan collectors who own fans in Decorator Mauve, and there are even fewer fan collectors who own a Delta 2 in Decorator Mauve. As it seems like up until this fan was unearthed and Casablanca's Lady Delta in this finish was unearthed, it seems like really the only proof fan collectors had that this model even existed was the Casablanca catalog from the mid-80s, as there was a Decorator Mauve Delta 2 there and a model number to back it up. And this fan does in fact have the same model number as the Decorator Mauve Delta 2 from the catalog, confirming that it's Decorator Mauve. And I'll show that to you guys in a moment. But first, let's just admire that fan. It's a very nice finish for sure. It goes well with the white ceiling in the background, and it's a very nice fit for this room. It blows great air like all Casablancas do. And I mean, just the design of the design of the Delta 2 has always been very nice and very just stylish looking for really any room. And the fact that it's in such a unique and nice looking finish is just really a cool thing to have. So, yeah, it's just, this thing, as far as I know, is insanely rare, and again, as far as I know, I am the only fan collector who has one of these. And this seems to be the only Decorator Mauve Delta 2 to surface into the fan community, or at least to be videoed on YouTube, and the second Decorator Mauve Casablanca fan, period. Again, I could be completely oblivious to some other ones out there that other fan collectors have, or maybe some fan collectors have them but they haven't videoed them. I really don't know. I'm not trying to make any claims where I would get contradicted in the comment section, but as you guys can probably tell, I am just very excited about owning this extremely rare fan, as this is a holy grail, without a doubt, and I'll probably never let go of it as long as I live. Okay, I'll show you the model number right there, and the serial number as well, if you didn't watch the other video. 141515D, confirming the finish as Decorator Mauve. And then I added this Casablanca pendant onto it as well. And this is one of the finishes, one of the uncommon Casablanca finishes that I've never really heard people talk about. I've heard Verde a little bit, some of the rose-ish, pinkish finishes, like some of the other pinker ones. Designer Gray quite a lot, and Ferrari Red quite a lot. But this one, never really heard it talked about much before, which is interesting. I mean, again, I don't really know if this particular finish of Casablanca is high in demand, like, say, Ferrari Red or Designer Gray is, but maybe that's because most people don't know this finish exists, because, like I said, pretty much the only proof that Decorator Mauve Delta 2s existed up until now was the picture in the old fan catalog. And as for the Lady Deltas, before Cole's video came out, you really had no proof of those either other than the catalog. And yeah, I mean, so here's the proof that Decorator Mauve Delta 2s do exist. There are some out there somewhere, so keep your eyes peeled, fan collectors. You might find one yourself someday. You might find one of these yourself one of these days. Alrighty, so I think I've said just about everything I possibly can about this fan, gushing on and on and on about how rare it is and how even though it might not be as high in demand as some of the other rare Casablanca finishes, this is a very uncommon and hard to find fan, and I like that about it. I like having something that, you know, not a lot of people other have. Alright, well, that's it, I guess. Hope you enjoyed this nearly 9-minute long video of me low-key bragging about this fan find. Hope I didn't piss anyone off with this, but anyways, so I guess we've completely covered this fan now. I guess you guys know what comes next. Victorian time. See you guys then.